Alright, you guys, so here is my presentation for writing the argument, and this is my interactive web-based lesson. Alright, so I am Ryan Schian. I teach at Marshall Green Middle School. That's in Bertrand, Michigan, and I'm a 6th grade instructor, and there I teach language arts and social studies. So a little overview of my lesson is that we do NWEA testing, and for the winter assessment, we scored 72% on the informational text, and we need to get that up to an 85% according to our PLC, like our professional learning community for language arts. So I just need to make up that 13% differential, and I think I can do that, focusing on informational text, but more importantly, the argument writing part of it. So like claim, reasoning, evidence. So my goal for this is just to reach my goal of getting an 85% from a 72 is to create an engaging web-based interactive lesson to raise NWEA scores for informational text by emphasizing argument writing. So my goal statement is that 85% of students will be able to construct an argument paragraph by demonstrating how to create a claim, use evidence effectively, and back up the argument with reasoning. Here's the Common Core standards that are touched, both the reading and the writing. Well, I'm just focused on exactly what my goal statement was, just claim, evidence, reasoning. My objectives for the students is that they can identify strong evidence. They can identify fact and opinion, create strong reasoning to back up their evidence, and of course the end goal is to construct an argument paragraph with a claim, use that strong evidence, and have clear reasoning. So here's my learning map. So the prerequisite skills is that they're going to have to be able to write complete sentences and incorporate transitions, so like also, in addition, next, finally. Students also are going to be able to need to read an informational article and be able to find the author's purpose and the central idea to be able to summarize it. From there, students are going to need to identify fact versus opinion, create their own claim, and here it breaks away. We have students that can identify strong evidence, students can identify weak evidence, but then it comes back together on what to use when they actually create their reasoning. So students can create their strong reasoning to back up their evidence, and then finally, right back to the goal statement of 85% of students being able to construct an argument paragraph by demonstrating how to create a claim, use evidence effectively, and back up the argument with reasoning. And the 85%, that would just be based on a rubric on the effectiveness just given by myself. All right, so a quick demonstration of the website. This is just schianargument.weebly.com. So I just had to put a picture of myself on here, just to, when kids get here, they can be like, hey, yep, I'm on the right place, or I'm in the right place. So navigation, it tells you how to actually navigate this website, all the tabs. We have a home, this is the current page that they're on, background information, vocab, all these. Then here it tells them how to actually navigate this website, where they have two options. They can either click on this button down here, which I didn't originally put in, but when I had another one of my peers evaluate this, they said that that would definitely be beneficial, which I 100% agree. I just didn't really think about it. So here it just says in the right-hand corner, labeled menu, just go from the top to the bottom. So you would just like click up here, and like say you're okay, I'm all done with the home page. Just go to the background, then vocab. They'll still be able to do that, but again, it's much easier just clicking this button right here. So go on the background information. They have a purpose, all those Common Core standards that we addressed earlier. What is an argument paragraph? So they should definitely be able to be independent in this. Again, I asked prompts, and then I gave them just a Q&A, basically. There's questions, and then they give you answers. So like what's a claim or thesis statement, and they tell you what's reasoning, what's evidence or a source, what's a prompt, and then I give examples right here. Right, then I give an article example. We have a subscription to Scope Magazine, and this works out really well. But yeah, this is just how their end result should end up looking. So again, the prompt is, should kids play football? I tell them that's the prompt, and then I wrote this argument paragraph myself. Just this is how the end product should look like. So I just kind of want to give a roadmap on where they should be by the end of this unit by seeing a completed piece of work. Or they could even just click on the full article right here to actually read it. And this pops up, but you can just hit OK, and it takes you right there. Yep, so again, here's the article that they'd have to read, and they'd have to pull evidence from and create their own reasoning. But it's nice because Scope Magazine actually has these right here. So pick a side, like, should kids play football? Yes. And then write your evidence over here. Or no, it's just way too dangerous, and write your evidence over here. And then this is what you would incorporate into your argument paragraph. So they will be able to move at their own pace for that. And again, I've got another button down here. So they're going to have to figure out what's fact and what's opinion, because opinion traditionally isn't a good piece of evidence. You're going to want to look for facts. So I have fact examples. Michigan is a state. Simpsons is the longest running cartoon on television. Then there's opinion. Something like The Simpsons is the best cartoon on television. I mean, you're going to need to figure out that that is an opinion. Down here, I actually embedded this fact and opinion for kids. Yep, just walks you through just fact and opinion. And then I actually embedded this quiz as well. So after they focus up here, and then they put their focus down here, they are able to take this little quiz. They'd write their name in here. This is on this website up here. And they'd start it, and they just answer these questions. The school day should be longer, fact or opinion. The school year should be shorter, fact or opinion. And they just work their way down, and then they would submit their answers, and those get sent to me through this website. So it's actually a pretty valid website. Definitely beneficial here. Yep, then once they do that, yep, they can just come right back here and go over what they need to know. So how to write a good hook. Also, do not start off with saying yes or no to begin your paragraph. And this just shows you a good way of how to actually getting your reader interested. So just a whole bunch of different ways. I mean, you can use emotions, quotes, action. Yep, so this will keep them interested as well. And how to get people interested. It's also a pretty fun video, too. I'm sure that 6th grade students would thoroughly enjoy it. Then you find out what a claim or a thesis is. Then I have examples down here, but you can't just give an example, you have to give a prompt. Alright, so should trampolines be banned from society? Here's a thesis statement. Trampolines should not be banned from society, or trampolines should be banned. So I have a whole bunch of just the yes or the no. Again, I even say, notice how none of these begin with yes or no. Keep it that way. And then just another embedded video which teaches you how to write a strong thesis statement. Then I have what is evidence. Then examples of strong evidence. Again, you have to have a prompt, the claim. And I give a couple different examples. I have 1, 2, 3, and then I actually give, I tell you why it's a strong evidence as well, here in the red. And I have weak evidence, and the same thing, I give a prompt, I give a claim, and I give weak evidence, and I tell you why it's weak. So there they'll be able to visually see what's good and what's bad. So it's pretty much, it's scaffolding, but without me actually teaching it, just them doing it for themselves. Another question, what is reasoning now? You have to back that up. Some good sentence starters. This is what a list of that I give my kids as well. Like, this evidence is important because, like, based on this evidence, according to the evidence, based on what I read, and you tell me why that evidence is worthwhile. I even highlighted it just so that they know where it is and when it should be used. Again, I give strong examples of what to use. Then I have what is a concluding sentence. Same concept. Right here I wrote the entire paper, the entire argument paragraph, and then I highlighted the closing for these reasons. And down here I give another one as well and highlight it just so that they know what to focus on. And then the main part of this assignment is where I give them the option on what to choose. It's their turn to write one. So what they do, we would likely do this in a computer lab. They'd have to go to follow this link, and it takes you to some some worksheets I created. So what do you think? And this would be for this article right here. And this is something that my peers thoroughly enjoyed as well. So they'd have to print out just the papers that they need. So they have two options. And one is, do sports fans go too far? And then there's actually, are brand name products worth the price? And then you have to list the pros and cons, basically. Support or don't support. And then down here, they would actually write their argument paragraph in an organizer. They write their claim up here. They have a transition, evidence reasoning, transition, evidence reasoning, transition, evidence reasoning, concluding sentence. So once this organizer is filled out, their paper is basically written. They just need to write it in sentence format, basically. Yep, so then down here they just click on, I have a little synopsis on what the article is about right here, and then again down here. But you could just click on the article, and it takes you to, again, the Scope magazine, where it lets you read the article, and you get to find the evidence and back it up. Then you can do it for this one as well. So I think it covers a lot of bases. I like giving them the choice. I don't want them writing about something where I'm forcing them to write about, you have to write about this. So having that choice will definitely be beneficial. Then I have a survey just because, I care what they think. End of unit survey. And the results for this get sent to me as well. And it's anonymous. Was this website helpful? They get to choose, explain. And again, I want to know how confident they feel. Is it very confident, like they don't know? Not confident at all, like where do they stand with the argument paragraph? And they submit it, and I get those results. In my reference page. And all this is based on MESA units. Alright, so back to this. Some evaluation for my peers. A lot of them felt like, I had 3 people tell me some of these things, so very engaging, easy to follow. One of them really enjoyed the fact and opinion quiz. Some constructive feedback that I got is that not all the links worked, and that's because you have to be logged into the Scope web magazine as me. I end up finding different pages, so that kink has worked out now. One person also said to have the next button, as I said earlier, and I definitely changed that. Again, I like to have the evaluation from the students. It's always good to hear their feedback. What do they think works? What doesn't work? Implementation for this is just ensure that all students have acquired the prerequisite knowledge. You can't just give them, hey, here's this website. I need to make sure that all of them actually know how to form complete sentences and read informational text, so they can dissect the evidence and create their own reasoning. Have an open discussion about any questions students have, possibly have any students collaborate. If they're doing the same article, they can collaborate with one another. I'd be all for that. They could focus on their evidence and reasoning. And I would implement this probably after the M step here. I'll probably do it here in a couple weeks after our 6th graders take the M step here, and I think that'll work out the best. Some reflection that I have is I really enjoyed this website to actually have this quiz, but it's a free trial. I don't know if I would necessarily buy it. It's nice to have that free trial, but that actually goes out here next week. The buttons work out well, easier for navigation. I don't think I'd change any of my learning objectives for now. I'm going to have to see how it goes. But I did talk to our professor, and she helped me actually create those. So I know that they work out well. Good deal. Anyways. Well, hope that this was a good little presentation. But anyways, thank you so much, and have yourselves a fantastic evening.